This week Parashat, two parashot, Parashat Matot and Masei.
We have two parashot?
We have two parashot.
Oh, where I'm leaving. Okay, I have to run.
We, as the past few weeks, are holding in the last days of the last year of the 40 years in the desert. Our parasha starting with very interesting war. We know the Jewish people fought many wars during, of course, also during the time of the desert. They fought against the Amalek. They fought against the Canaanites that came. They fought against Sichon and Og Melech HaBashan. All the nations that they fought was nations that were, or they approached to fight with Israel, to have a war, or they were on our way and they didn't let us cross. Midian was not one of those nations. They were not on their way. We didn't took their properties, their place. We didn't need their place. It's not part of our country. So why we had a fight with Midian? So the Torah starts in our parasha that we need to fight them as nekama. What is nekama? Nekama is revenge. But it's not a regular revenge. Why we need to have revenge? Because those guys were responsible of the very big disaster that the Jewish people had, that we learned in the past weeks, with Pinchas, with the Jewish people falling to the girls of Midian and bowing to their idols and all those things. So that was the punishment, basically. But this is in the surface. In the inside, there is a Hasidic explanation about this Midian, that I'm just mentioning it because it's a basic one. There is all the nations, and we will learn today. I will mention also every person and every tribe, every group of people representing something. Not only representing something here, they're representing something above. There's no things that starting here. Our world is not the place that things starting. It's a place where the things ending. The creation is in some way, of course. In creation, the physical creation is the end of something that was existed before in a spiritual way. So when we talking about the nation of Midian, we're talking about, according to Hasidut, about a very specific problem. They were good people, but there is in the heavens the bad side, how it's called in the Kabbalah, the other side, Sitra Acha. They have in there the bad side is one of the powers of our negative side is a kind of chutzpah that have no reason. This is actually the best of the best power. What is the most strong, we can say, power that a person can have Of course, you can have motivation and ideology and feeling and love and fear. All those things are motivations and very strong one, and maybe the most consistent one. But what can beat most of the feelings that standing against? There is some kinds of chutzpah without a reason. Why do I want something? Because I really want it. You know, if we're talking with reason, I would have reason here, would have a reason against, we can discuss it. If we can talk about feeling, because I love it, so I can understand that if you really love it, it's not good for you, it's not good for him. It's better to keep it for later. If you fear, you can overcome the fear. We can discuss. Everything is open to discussion. There is some kinds of feeling that it's not about reason. It's strong drive that it's without reason. Not because it's deep reason. Because it have no reason. Not necessarily in a good way. That's called chutzpah bli ta'am. Chutzpah without reason. What? And let's understand it a little bit deeper. What is the, if you're talking in a spiritual way, spiritual levels, in the spiritual world, we know that there is good holiness, mitzvot, and the Zohar and the Kabbalah and Hasidut, we're learning about the other side, the natural side, the bad side that tried to convince the Jew or the human being to do bad things. This force, the other side, he think he's right, he think he's good. This force itself, he's not thinking he's good. No, he knows the truth. He knows exactly his position. He knows that he is there to seduce the human being and to convince him. He knows that. He knows that he is not the perfect choice. The only person that doesn't know that is the human being itself sometimes. Yes? Everybody knows that. So, what is his way? I'm doing it. Doesn't matter. Just to do. Just the feeling of the need to do it without any reason. This is, we can call it very deep, but it's actually the opposite of deep. This is the, we can call it in Hebrew, as I said, it's chutzpah. And chutzpah is
I don't remember. I know. I just remember.
how you say chutzpah?
It's kind of strong or.
No, chutzpah is, one second. I will find the right word, but I would say a different word in English before I translate in chutzpah. In English, we can call this feeling of the other side, we can call it stupidity. Because this is not,
Okay.
no,
Know when it is.
chutzpah, we can, in English, one second.
Look in Russia.
Ah,
I would say the vulgar, or
Okay. Yes, I understand.
vulgar, yeah, I wouldn't say sometimes.
chutzpah is the nerve. You know, nerve? You're getting on my nerves, or from how you have the nerve.
Pushy or this kind of stuff.
This, what is your reason? I think we will go not to a literal translation in English.
Yeah.
In English, I think in a deeper way. Chutzpah means I have the nerve to say something. I have no problem to say something, even though I don't think it's the best idea, or you want to hear it. I would say something that you don't want to hear, meaning I have the nerve to say it. I'm a little bit, how you call this person that have no problem to say it? He's a gal person. It's a
Unpolite or something.
yeah. But if we're talking about the other side, it's a bit of stupidity, meaning the other side know that he can say things that he himself not believing in. I'm not here to negotiate. The other side not here to negotiate his position. He's here to offer. Maybe do this, maybe do this. And when we start negotiating, we're not negotiating with terrorism. Yes? Terrorist. It's because he doesn't have reason, you cannot negotiate with him. So how we answering this chutzpah of the other side? I will finish this because this is not our just mentioning it. It's in a deeper level, the fight that even every Jew can have with the other side in him. We're not answering chutzpah with reason. We're not answering stupidity with reason. The fight sometimes is without it, the competition is not, the languages are not the same. A person know that he need to do mitzvah. He need to do this and that. But what if he laziness? What is that laziness? I mean, laziness, you don't, something you didn't understand. You understand perfectly everything. But the other side, sometimes, feeling that you have no problem to offer laziness. If you take it, take it. And the human being, because he's not seeing clearly, he's there standing, not understand who is better, who is not. He's choosing the chutzpah side, the stupidity side. But sometimes it's not. So what the good side will answer laziness? It cannot answer, no, you need to do this, because the human being know that they need to do it. It's not a fight of reason. That's why, according to Chassidut, you need to answer chutzpah with chutzpah. How you answering chutzpah? With chutzpah, the same thing. I'm doing the mitzvah not because I understand, not because it's good for me, because this is the same language. So this is some kind of a fight that we also need to find in ourselves. Because sometimes all the learning that we're gonna do, all the feelings, the good feelings that we will appreciate, but sometimes that fight is not with reason. We have no lack of understanding, of good feeling, of appreciation. Because sometimes the other side, his best power is to say, it's all true, but just 5 minutes, Just 5 minutes. So how you answer? No, but just okay. I know. Just 5 minutes. So this kind of, he have no problem to offer you everything. Why? Because it's the war. It's a different war. I'm just offering you. If you take it, it's your problem. The other side. And this why sometimes the answer need to be, I don't care. No, the belief that we need to have, the feeling that we need to have it's need to be a little bit deeper. I'm doing it just because. Just because, as the same thing that the other side offer bad things to do, not because you have a good reason, just because. So sometimes the holiness also need to be in the same level, just because. It's called in the Hasidic language shtut dikdusha, stupidity of holiness. I'm doing it because. There is example of big rabbi that in the Talmud that was dancing in the weddings, just a wedding that he was invited, and he was taking some wooden sticks, and he was throwing 9 and 10, and he was juggling in the wedding. And some other rabbi said, is not appropriate, Imagine the biggest rabbi coming to a wedding of a student, start dancing like putting in Jerusalem it's very common. You're going to a wedding and then a person coming, putting a whole chair on his head, or just doing stupid things, So if you the brother's the groom's brother, good friend, and you're young, okay. But if you're a big rabbi just coming and doing it. But when he passed away, a major fire came, it was surrounding him, and it was a very big holy situation. I don't know exactly what happened there, but everybody saw that he was a very special rabbi. So they said this stupidity was very special. This is what they said. This is the story in the Talmud, and the previous Rabbi explaining, because he had in him a connection to God, that this is a groom, this is a bride, this is a happy day to Jewish nation. He was happy, there was no filters, just because. There was no reason. So this is a very deep connection with God. Okay. How it's all connected to Midian? Because Midian, it's from the word Madon. Madon in Hebrew, it's fight, it's hate. So they representing a very just because level. And this is a problem, this is something that we need to try to take from ourselves. This is according to Kabbalah, of course, according to Hasidut, according to inside of Torah. In our parasha, there is many other issues. I didn't plan to spend 20 minutes on that subject, but it's important. So after the war, we have very special laws that we have from the Torah. They took a lot of vessels, animals from the nation that they have conquered. So they needed to make pure all the vessels because it was non-Jews. So they learned the laws of purity of vessels that they putting in the mikveh, and if something non-kosher was cooked there, so if it was cooked with fire, so the way to take the taste out is by fire. Actually, tomorrow our camp going to a lager, to a place, and we need to kosher the place. So I will come with brenner, with fire. Why? Because we're taking the fire out, the taste out. So this is the laws that we have in our parasha. We have in our parasha very special laws about a person that taking upon himself things. Taking upon himself things. And there is, I would say, a short idea about that. If there is two things that we know about a person that taking upon ourselves things, it's called nedarim. Nedarim. Person that, that taking upon himself not to eat meat during the week, to be less happy, as we call it, because he want to feel the suffering until the Mashiach will come. Or a person that taking upon himself, we're talking about higher levels, yes, to fast Monday and Thursday. This is a very old custom. Sometimes in the year, not to eat, to feel a little bit bitter or to be less connected to this material world. So we have two. So first of all, what is the law? The law is that if you did something good or you took upon yourself to do it, so you're not allowed to stop doing it. You need to continue. It's like a law that you took upon yourself. And in order to stop doing it, you need to go to a court, to a rabbi. And actually, what the rabbi doing? Let's understand. This is a law. If it's a law, and if I took upon myself something, how the rabbi can make what I said to stop? What is this kind of law? I'm going to a rabbi and he tell me it's okay? No, this is not the meaning. That the rabbi, I going to a rabbi and he said, doesn't matter, you said, okay. The rabbi is not, I'm not talking about myself, I'm talking about a real rabbi. The rabbi is revealing that it's not you meant, first of all, in the halachic law level, he find some way to explain that you didn't took upon yourself this specific exact thing. For example, in a very simple, you took upon yourself not to eat meat. You're coming to the rabbi and said, you know, Rabbi, I want to be good, I want to be holy. You took upon yourself, but I can't. Whatever reason, I can't. So the rabbi cannot tell you, okay, it's okay. No, this is not the law. The law is that the rabbi need to explain. Oh, you took upon yourself not to eat meat, but you didn't know that it will be so hard. So that's why you didn't meant to do it in this current situation. So this is the reason that it's not true what you said. You didn't mean it. You didn't meant it. So you didn't understand. So you're not allowed to do it. So it doesn't mean that it just telling you, doesn't matter what you said. No, actually exactly the opposite. He wants to explain why this is exactly what you meant. This is in the literal way. In a deeper situation, if we want to understand it in deeper explanation, there is two expression or two lines, two approachings to this nedarim issue. A person that taking upon himself good things. We're learning in Pirkei Avot, don't remember which chapter, nedarim siyag laprishut. A person that want to be you could call it holy. You know what is how you say holy in Hebrew? Kadosh. Yes, Kadosh.
Kadosh.
Yes. What is Kadosh? Kadosh is holy. But what is Kadosh in Hebrew? Kadosh have explanation. What is Kadosh? I'm not sure what is holy in English. What is the meaning of holy? In Hebrew, the meaning of Kadosh is, you know what a person, when the groom giving the bride the ring and putting on her finger, what he's saying? He's saying, Harei at mekudeshet li. Hereby you are holy for me. מקודשת. What is מקודשת? מקודשת. What is מקודשת? So, holy means, kadosh means separated. When we saying kadosh, kadosh, kadosh in Hebrew, we meaning is separated in 3 levels. Is separated in the material levels, is separated in the spiritual levels, and is separated in all the levels altogether. This is the meaning of holy. Is separated is not something that we can understand. Separated is not maybe the exact translation. Kadosh mean nivdal. Nivdal is the literal explanation is separated, actually, as I said, but maybe there is another word. Offside? Distinct, maybe. It's meaning we want to express that God is something different. It's not the same. When we're talking about, for example, before Kriyat Shema, we're saying Kadosh, Kadosh, Kadosh. Before the blessings of Shema. We're talking about the angels. We're talking about spiritual levels. And we're saying Kadosh, Kadosh, Kadosh. God is not spiritual. God is separate. Total a different dimension. So Kadosh is separated. So a person, in Pirkei Avot, we're saying Nedarim siyag laprishut. When a person want to be parush, he want to be holy, he taking upon himself nedarim. A person feel the need to be a little bit more holy. So what he going to do? One of the ways is to separate himself from something. For example, he used to eat, and the simplest examples are from eating. A person used to eat the ice cream in the end of the meal, so he decided, I will not eat the ice cream. Why? Because the ice cream is just for fun. I want my fun to be connected to holy things, not just for. You want to be more holy. Can be in more stronger ways. Can be more, of course. But this is nedarim. So it sounds that nedarim, of course, it's a good thing. And we have in the Torah the laws of nedarim. But we have in the Torah the laws of Nazir. You know what is Nazir? Nazir, it's a person that deciding that he will not drink wine, will grow is the monk, yes? Monk. A person that deciding to not drink wine, not to be impure, not to cut his hair. It's also a person actually that taking upon himself, want to separate himself from the world. And it's also laws in the Torah. But our sages not really pro a person being a monk. The question is why? Why there is two? What's the difference? And the answer for that is that if you have the ability to be connected to something and stay pure, and you deciding it's too hard for me. For example, a person going to work every day in the same street. In this street, there is a non-kosher food store. You know, we will stay with the food. A non-kosher food store. And every day you're going there, you want to buy something that is not kosher. But after 1 second you say, no, I'm eating kosher. Every day. One day, deciding, okay, enough. I'm leaving that street. I will go to work from the street, from another street. Why he deciding this decision? Because he doesn't want to fight. Oh, so this is not a good thing. Doesn't want to fight. You have the ability to fight. If a person, I need to 1 second to stop. Sorry, 1 second. I don't know what it was. Okay, sorry. So if a person doing something because he wants to be holy, but he knows that he can fight. I can fight. Just want to feel more holy. This is not good. Why? Because the Torah wants you to stay connected. If you can stay connected to everything going on in the world and to stay pure, you should stay connected. But if you just want to grow your hair, not to drink wine, to be a caveman, this is not. This is just a way to avoid the world. The Torah doesn't want it. The Torah wants you to be connected to everything in the world. So if you just taking upon yourself something that I'm gonna lose this fight. So this is a way to be holy. Okay. Not to go to a war zone. To go to a place that you can fight and win the war. Okay. But if you're just lazy. This is the Torah doesn't like. Okay. I would just want to talk something that it's more connected to our parasha. And I see that my time is slipping. We have mentioning the death of Aaron this week. We're mentioning the 42 places that the Jewish people were in the desert. This is the beginning of next week. I will just mention something very, very powerful that I think we're learning from our parasha. We have very, very detailed laws in our parasha connected to what would the Jewish people do with everything they took from the war. Many vessels, many dishes, many donkeys, a lot of animals. A lot. What was the laws? The law was that they will divide it first of all to 50-50. And then the 150 will take all the soldiers. Every person that fought the war. The other half will be divided by the Jewish nation. And from that, from the half, you would be able to separate it to two. Every 50 animals give to the Levi tribes. One of 50. And one of 500, they should give to the temple also, the Levi. And the Torah telling us with numbers. The Torah telling many numbers. How many animals? And the Rabbi trying to understand what's going on. Why the Torah need to tell us all the numbers of donkeys? Who cares? Who cares about the numbers? This is the question. I'm doing it in short version. And the Rabbi explaining that we have another question. The Ramban asked a different question. The Torah telling us the numbers of the first half, and then the Torah telling us the numbers of the second half. If it's two halves, you need to know only one half. Why you need to explain the other half? So about that, the Ramban explaining that the Torah wanted to tell us that there was here a very big miracle. They took close to 2,000 animals. How much time taking to count 2,000 animals? 1 week? How many animals would die from those 2,000 animals in this time? A lot of them. How many would born? So the Ramban telling us, when they finish counting one half and they start and finish the other half, it stayed the same number. That was a miracle. Stay the same number. Okay? The Rabbi trying to understand what's going on. What's the meaning of it? What's the meaning of it? And in short, the idea of the explanation is that we had here a double and a triple miracle. We can say it's a miracle. The Torah told the commandment, it was a law that God told specifically to Moshe, that from all the animals you will divide them to 2, and then divided them to 50, and then you divided it to 500. Yeah? So, what are the chances that all the numbers would be accurate? I mean, you can have 300 animals that not counting in any number. It can be not divided to 2, it can be not divided to 50, or it cannot be divided to 500. So it's amazing. The first and the biggest miracle was that it was divided exactly. It was a round number. Okay, the Rabbi asking, is it a miracle? It's not a miracle. Could be. Could be. What is the percentage? Very low. Very low. So what is the meaning of that? So the first of all, if we want to answer what the situation is, the Torah telling us all the number according to the Rabbi's explanation, that we should understand that they fulfilled exactly what God commanded, because they were exactly the amount of number, the number that we can divide it to half, and exactly would be perfect to 50 and 500. So this is why the Torah told us. And now, of course, we have also the Ramban. After the Torah told us that we can do it in the one half, we need to understand that in the time no one died, and we was able to do it in the other half also. Okay. But what is the meaning of it? And if we think about it, it's very powerful. Let's imagine God telling Moshe, there is a group here of this and that amount of animals. You should divide them to 2. You should divide them to 50 and to 500. And it will not be accurate. We can think about it, it was not accurate, so what? It means that those 300, 400 animals that was not counted in any number, the words of God was not complete on them. They were captured. God said a mitzvah. Everything that God's saying is a mitzvah, or for that time, or for general. This is a mitzvah for that time. God said a mitzvah, you should divide them, and you cannot do it in everyone. You can fulfill the mitzvah in 95% of the animals, not in 100%. So this is what was the reason of this miracle. First of all, it's not a miracle. It's a very, very low chance. But God can arrange it, of course, according to nature. It's not... but why it happened? Because God said a mitzvah. It was a mitzvah. The mitzvah was to divide all the animals. God said the mitzvah, so all the animals right now are captured in this law. If one will die, so we have 499, that the mitzvah will not be fulfilled on them. So the mitzvah took them because they needed to be complete. The mitzvah need to be complete. So this is the reason that it happened. The reason why the animal stayed alive or was exact is because the mitzvah needed them to be like that. And this is the reason that why the Torah telling us this. What we can take from it? I think we can take of it something very, in my opinion, it's very strong. Because when God saying a law, the world is a vessel. The world is a vessel to do it. Because God is the creator of the world. And this is the truth. Sometimes, as I said before, everybody knows that this is the truth. The good side, the bad side. Only the person that confused is me. I'm not sure. But everybody is sure. So sometimes we can say God said a law and it's not seems to be easy. But the truth is, it cannot be not easy. Because God is the creator. So why is it not easy? Because I'm confused. I'm confused. Because God created some new thing that can confuse. But the truth is that everything is simple. God said it should be done. I'm not saying that there is no difficult situation, but of course, why it's difficult? Because of us. Because our eyes sometimes are not clear. It's easy to say. It's more easy to act, but this is what we can learn from that mitzvah. That the world did a miracle. It was natural thing. God said, you need to divide it. So that was the situation with the animals. They could be divided. They didn't die, because they need to be divided. The mitzvah should be fulfilled by them. Yeah, this is the idea. I hope it's nice. L'chaim.